If I find that you drive like this again, it's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand? If I find that you do, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. Do you understand?
Too dangerous for me, man. I can't give you up. You're your own worst enemy, Mr. Singh.
Good morning, Mr. Flores.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Good today.
Good. The reason that you are still in custody is that we gave you a PR bond and you take off. You don't come back to court. This has not happened but once. It has happened already multiple times. So that's why I can't just continue to give you PR bonds. When you do, you just take off. The only thing I need you to understand is that, when you plead guilty to something, it sticks with you forever. You cannot try to plead guilty to something, get out and try to change it or do this or do that. This is when you do this, when you accept a plea bargain, it stays.
Judge, Your Honor, I'm truly sorry for what I've done, like my whole life. I just asked for another PR bond. I'll make it to court. I actually call my mom, see if I could stay with her until she drops me off at court, and whatever they say from there, if I'm guilty or not guilty, I'll plead guilty. Or if I'm innocent, I'll
Where are you
plead
living
innocent.
now?
My mom stays in Tomball now.
No. Are you living on the street or are you living?
I'm homeless, but I've actually talked to my mom, and me and her actually going into a good relationship now,
Did you just get picked up?
like mother and son. And yeah, like they caught me at the airport, and
Look, I don't want you to talk about the case. The thing is that I don't want to continue to give someone a PR bond if you're just going to go to the streets. The streets are not a safe place.
I won't go back to the street. The streets aren't for me anymore, man. Like I don't want to be in the street. I don't want to be homeless anymore. And I've talked to my mom. She's doing real good, and she actually wants me to be around, pay the bills, and and own a house of my own.
Let's do this. Why don't we do a TRAS to see how we go forward? Because I don't know, and we can have the clinicians evaluate him to see how we go forward.
First,
If you want to do an independent one, I'm happy to give you money for you to do it. Or like I would suggest is just do a TRAS to see where do we go? Because I don't know, but having clinicians talk to him might be the best way to go to see how we go forward. Because the problem is, Harold, is if we just throw him out to the streets, we're throwing him out to the wolves. If he doesn't have a place to go to, or just, Whereas if we have him TRAS, we can try to get down to what the true issue is and why it keeps happening, and then we'll figure out a plan, So you just let me know whatever you want to do. I'm happy to do it.
so just when we do the TRAS, we just set that up with the CLO or?
Yeah, so we'll have Shatori set it up and we'll do it. We can expedite it so it gets done within the next couple of days, so he's not just lingering.
Judge, as his competency is also good then?
Yeah, competent. Yeah,
First,
so we can get it done. And then that'll really tell us, perhaps he needs to be in mental health court. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's what we can get the TRAS for.
So what do you think, there's 2 weeks or?
No, not even a week. A week. Okay, thanks. All right, Mr. Flores. Good morning, Mr. Lundy. Sir, you're charged with failure to stop and give information, which is leaving the scene of an accident without exchanging information. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 12, 2025, at approximately 4:45 p.m., an officer was dispatched to an FSGI call. Upon arrival, the officer spoke to the complainant, who stated he was traveling north on FM when a vehicle crashed into his vehicle. The driver then fled the scene without exchanging information. Complaining witness to the passenger stated that they were rear-ended, causing the defendant's vehicle to crash into a ditch. Defendant then approached them to check on their welfare, and once he saw they were unharmed, the defendant fled the scene on foot. The officer observed significant rear end damage to the complainant's vehicle. The complainant provided a description of the defendant, and the officer ran the license plate and found the registered owners were Michael Lundy and Dylan Lundy. On March 13th, 2025, the officer received a call from Dylan Lundy, who wished to provide a voluntary statement regarding the incident. The defendant admitted to crashing into the complainant's vehicle and to fleeing on foot because he believed he had an open warrant for failure to appear for a window tint violation. The complainant positively identified the defendant by photograph. The estimated cost to repair was over $200 as the complainant believed their vehicle was totaled.
Can you run his license, please? And does he have any open cases anywhere? You can run an NCIC.
His driver's license is eligible, and I normally don't take note of Class C violations, but I do.
No, I don't care about Class C.
Right.
Didn't,
Um,
no, I don't care.
He does not have any open
Nope.
cases
Okay.
at the moment.
Got it. All right, Mr. Lundy, I'm going to find there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. The only condition I'm placing on you now is you are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. If you do not have car insurance, you may not drive. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will waive your appearance because you have a lawyer. Just stay in contact with Will. He'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. I'll have you sign a receipt, Victoria, while you take a seat while we get your conditions. You'll sign it and then you'll be free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Don't pick up any new cases.
Yes, sir.
Is that pre-trial bond condition?
State's conditions.
Okay.
Okay,
Next is
so-
on page 12. Howard, come on up.
Can you file those, please?
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Phillips.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Sir, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
On March 12th, 2025, at approximately 9:25 a.m., an officer was conducting a stationary traffic enforcement on a public roadway of the 7,000th block of IH 610 southbound in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed a red Ford pickup truck traveling at a high rate of speed with heavy traffic the posted limit was 60 miles per hour. The officer witnessed the pickup truck bypassing other motor vehicles, weaving in and out of traffic at high speeds and coming dangerously close to other motor vehicles, with other drivers having to brake to avoid collisions as the Ford cut in front of them recklessly. The officer witnessed the pickup make multiple unsafe lane changes. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer reached speeds up to 110 miles per hour to catch up with the truck, but the pickup continued to distance itself from the patrol vehicle. The officer made contact with the defendant, driver, and sole occupant. The defendant admitted, "I know I'm driving like an idiot. I just got off work." The defendant acknowledged he was aware that he could have caused an accident and hurt someone.
Mr. Phillips, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. If I find that you drive like this again, it's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I will protect my street at all costs. If that means putting you in jail with a $500,000 bond, I'm going to do it in a second. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Anymore, I will also take your privilege to drive away from you as well. Can you look to see if he has a license?
Yes, his driver's license is eligible, Your Honor.
You are not allowed to drive unless you have valid liability insurance in your name, and that is also now a condition of your bond. No reckless driving, maniacally driving, donuts, street takeovers, anything of this nature. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will sign conditions to this, and after that, you'll be free to go. You have a lawyer. I will waive your appearance. Just keep my street safe, man. Every day we have people dying. It's not fair. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, come on.
Thank you, Judge.
Right this way.
You are Mr. Al-Bardan? Sir, you're charged with terroristic threat of a family or a household member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thomas
On
Flores?
March 12th, 2025, an officer responded to a weapons disturbance call at a residence in Katy, Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer met with the witness, who stated the defendant, her brother, and the complainant, her sister, were inside the residence and were involved in a verbal disturbance. The witness believed the defendant walked upstairs to retrieve a firearm during the altercation, which caused her to walk out of the residence and call 911. The witness, the complainant, and the defendant were eating at the dinner table, and the defendant told the complainant that he will shoot the complainant and the complainant will need to leave the residence. The complainant stated that she lives at the residence with the defendant. The complainant stated the defendant got into a verbal altercation with their father, and the defendant stated that he was the man of the house. The defendant attempted to slap the complainant in her face, and the complainant moved her head back, causing her hijab to fall off her head. The defendant told the complainant he would grab a gun, hold her down, and shoot her. The defendant would see that the complainant would not be in the residence. The complainant stated she felt in fear when the defendant threatened to shoot her.
Mr. Alvarado, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. A protective order has been issued in this case that identifies Ms. Lubna as a protected individual. Get to know this protective order, because if you do something to violate it, the state can and will file a violation of a protective order against you. And it's one of the worst cases that you can pick up. Do you understand? One of the things is this comes with a residential restriction that you're not allowed within 200 feet of the Park Fair Courthouse. Do you understand? If you go back to this place, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? How old are you, sir? How much? 33. Do you work? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? So what I'll do is I'll have you fill out an application for me. I need to know whether you can qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. Any allegation of alcohol or McKenzie, any alcohol or any dope, anything like
No
that?
allegations of alcohol.
Okay. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm also ordering you not to have any contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? I'll provide you a lawyer today and we can talk about how we go forward, but just be careful. I don't want to have to put you in jail. Do you understand? Okay. Do you mind giving me an application? Deputy Miranda's going to give you an application. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Good morning, Ms. Burse.
Sorry, I lost my voice.
Burse, that's what's right?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. Just hang tight and we'll, okay?
On March 13th, 2025, an officer responded to a criminal mischief call at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the complainant and the witness, who directed the officer to the scene. The complainant stated the defendant came to the location, broke his motor vehicle window, and recorded the incident on his phone for the officers to see. The complainant stated the defendant left the location in a black Kia that had the location on. The complainant stated the defendant was on Rust Creek Drive at an apartment. He could point to her apartment. The cost of the damage to the motor vehicle was approximately $500. The officer reviewed the video and observed the defendant striking the front passenger window, causing the window to shatter, then leaving the location. The officer observed a brick inside the motor vehicle with glass shards inside the front passenger seat, floorboard, and outside the motor vehicle. The complainant was positively identified by her Texas ID prior to driving to her location per GPS. The officers followed behind, and the complainant pointed at the apartment as the defendant was standing right outside of it. The officer made contact with the defendant, who
Protective orders are not suggestions. Violate one, and a small case instantly turns into one of the worst charges you can pick up.
was wearing the same outfit in the video, and the defendant admitted to breaking the complainant's window.
Got it. Do you have the rip done? I'm assuming this complainant doesn't want to have contact with her?
We have.
Not yet? Okay. Ms. Burse, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't care what's going on in your life. Don't have any contact with this person. I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of your weapons as well.
Okay.
If I find that you're a danger to my community, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? Are you sure?
Yes.
Do you want to apply for a court-appointed lawyer?
If I really don't need one, then no.
You need a lawyer.
Okay, then
You're facing 6 months in jail,
Then yes.
$2,000 fine, plus it could go on your record, and it's disastrous when it goes on your record.
Yes.
It's a good idea. Do you mind giving an application? So I'm going to have you fill out the application. I'll have you take a seat in the jury box. So we'll get your bond conditions. Do not leave until you sign them. And then
Okay.
I'll have you talk to a lawyer here momentarily. All right. Good morning, Mr. Miller. Sir, you're charged with harassing communication. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
The complainant informed the officer that on November 9th, 2022, in Harris County, Texas, the defendant was sending the complainant harassing text messages to the complainant The complainant and the defendant had been in an on and off relationship and had recently ended it. The defendant would call and text apologies that he would love her. The complainant stated eventually that the defendant started conveying messages that were angry in context. The complainant blocked him in response, and then she began receiving calls and texts from unknown numbers. The complainant even asked the defendant's mother to tell him to stop calling her. The complainant stated that the night that she received calls and that night she received calls and texts from the defendant with him threatening to call Child Protective Services. The complainant and the defendant were using an app and calling and text. The defendant was using an app and calling and texting from different phone numbers, and he sent multiple phone numbers and different text messages that are outlined in the officer's report.
Gary Phillips.
Are we talking like tons of text and stuff? How many are we
Yes,
talking?
Tons of texts from different phone numbers after the complainant had repeatedly told him to stop.
Okay, I see. And I'm looking at dozens and dozens. Okay. All right, Mr. Miller, I'm going to find there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person. I don't care what medium it is. I don't care if it's a smoke signal. I don't care if it's with Snapchat, WhatsApp, social media. If I find that you do, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. Do you understand?
Sir.
No means no. Just, you don't have children with this person. Move on. 10,000 other fish in the sea. It's not worth it sitting in a 6x9 because of one person, right?
So,
All right. I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of any weapons as well. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
yes.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll give you time to hire a lawyer. I'll have you sign a reset Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. We'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it and then you'll be free to go. All right? Please. Good morning, Mr. Lanyon. Sir, you're charged with illegal dumping. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On January 23rd, 2025, a witness stated that he saw the defendant dump a sofa on the 22-800 block of Bear Lake Lane on Tuesday, January 21st. The witness stated that he was cooking and looked out of his kitchen and saw a truck and the defendant come out to dump it. And the witness took a photo of the defendant's license plate and of the defendant. The witness told the defendant that you can't dump trash there, and the defendant looked up at the sofa he already dumped and left. The witness stated he was concerned the defendant was going to dump the sofa at a nearby location, so the witness drove to the main roadway near his house and observed the sofa had been dumped at an abandoned car wash located at 11440 FM 1960 in Huffman, Texas, which is not an approved dump site by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. The witness is positive that the sofa is the same brown sofa that the defendant dumped near his house previously.
But he didn't see it.
No, Your Honor, but he did it was the same sofa, and he did follow, and then at that point, the sofa was still on the side of the road.
Yeah. The witness stated he was cooking, looked out his kitchen.
I know that he sees it. So he doesn't dump it that first time. He goes to a location, he's about to dump it, but he doesn't, and he takes off.
Sir, I would just request, this is not with us, this is with environmental. I would just request we hold off on PC readings until the prosecutor hears it's
Okay. I mean, I'm willing to hold it, but you know.
I get it. I just want to make sure the prosecutor.
Mr. Runyon, just take a seat for me in the jury box, please.
Morning, Judge. I have a gentleman by the name of Kayuba Thomas who is with us today. He has a warrant. It's kind of questionable, but nonetheless, he does, and he wanted to turn himself in.
Okay.
I wanted to see if depending on probable cause, if you did set a bond, whether you might consider a PR bond because his medical condition.
Don't worry about it.
Gotcha. Would you like him brought up,
Just-
Judge?
Please.
Okay. Mr. Thomas?
Good morning, sir. Sir, you were charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay?
On February 6, 2025, the officers interviewed the complainant, who stated that on January 18th, 2025, the defendant came into the 5-minute oil change located at 747 Gary Ashford Road in Harris County, Texas, to have maintenance performed on his vehicle. The defendant let the complainant perform a cabin check on his vehicle, so the complainant got inside the vehicle. The complainant and defendant then exchanged a verbal exchange because the defendant was upset that the complainant was inside the vehicle. The complainant's manager interviewed and attempted to de-escalate the situation, and the defendant told the complainant's manager, "I'm going to come back here. You better correct him before I come back here. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to finish him off with a gun. I will fucking come shoot you all. I will do a drive-by." The complainant confronted the defendant and told him that he was not welcome back. The next day, the defendant was captured on surveillance footage at the location speaking with the complainant's coworker, who informed the defendant that the complainant was not at the location. The defendant went into his armrest and the witness stated that the defendant went into his armrest and he pulled out his gun while uttering the words, "Because of what happened yesterday, I should have shot his ass," referring to the complainant. The defendant stated, "I'm going to come every day until I see him."
And Judge, that's simply not true. In fact, I have his.
Remember, this is a probable cause.
I
To
understand.
start getting into more stuff, I mean, my only concern is, was there a terroristic threat, right?
Exactly,
And
exactly.
I don't know, it looks like there were potential multiple threats. So which one is in the charging instrument? Is
I think the one alleged to have occurred on is,
on the actual day in question when everything,
I can look and
Yeah.
double check.
because what I have, Judge, is just a receipt from when he paid. And because of the way he was treated, they gave him a $20 discount. It shows on the receipt as well. So, you know, he had told them, "Don't upsell me, don't upsell me." He comes around the corner and the guy's in his car. So that's why they gave him the discount on the receipt.
but I mean,
Even so,
Did-
Your Honor, a discount was a discount when it happened.
No, I understand.
And just to clarify, it is the first threat on
first
January
threat.
18th.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
It is what it is. I understand.
so Mr. Thomas, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. The only thing I'm going to ask you to do is don't have contact with the complaining witness, don't be in possession of weapons, and don't go back to the 5-minute
5-minute oil change.
Yes,
the
sir.
5-minute oil change. That's all I'm asking you to do, really. Just don't have weapons and don't go back, okay? That's it. As long as you can.
Also ask for no contact with the complainant.
Of course.
Already. Anything further, Judge?
We have to do bond.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um,
This is.
Might bring me out of PS. Sorry.
It's already set at $100.
Oh, it is? Okay, so I don't need to. All right. So, Mr. Thomas, I'm going to grant you a PR bond today. You have a bond set at $100. I'm going to grant you a PR bond. All I'm asking you to do is just don't pick up any new cases. Just be nice. It's not hard. You've got a great lawyer here. Listen to him. He'll take care of you. I'll waive your appearance because you have a lawyer. You don't even have to come back. Just stay out of trouble and just, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Judge.
So I don't let him, I need you to sign a bunch of paperwork. We have bond conditions that we're going to create. I need you to sign them. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. You'll have to meet with Felicia for your PR bond. And after that, you'll be free to go. Okay? All right.
All right, thank you very much, Judge.
And then, Judge Powell, do you
Yes, sir.
attorney of record, please?
Yes, sir,
We
certainly.
have him over there in the tower.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Furlow. Ma'am, you're charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. Officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas in response to a disturbance. The complainant stated they were in their car and backing out of their driveway when the defendant parked behind them. The defendant then got out of her car and started banging on the complainant's vehicle while shouting obscenities and threats. The defendant also tried to gain entry into the complainant's vehicle. Specifically, the defendant stated she was going to whoop their ass, and the complainant stated they were in fear for their lives during the incident. The officers discovered the defendant is a coworker of one of the complainant's family members.
Owner, boss.
So the threat is what?
The threat is she was banging on the door and said, "I'll whoop your ass."
I have it on camera.
Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons, okay?
Tired.
What do you do for a living, ma'am?
I own a fleet company, 3 trucks, and they're my drivers for the road, my OTR drivers.
Okay.
So they just basically stole my vehicles.
We are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign and reset. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go. When you come back, please have a lawyer, okay?
Okay, but I move out of state next month, so I just talked to my mom.
We'll have you sign a reset, and then we'll just take a seat while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign the bond conditions, and then you'll be free to go, okay? Please. You were Jalen Washington. Mr. Washington, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On November 7th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle after observing it driving with an expired registration as of July 2024 and failing to maintain a single lane, with both left tires crossing over the white marked lanes and the defendant's vehicle failing to signal a lane change. The defendant was the driver of the motor vehicle, and upon contact, the officer observed him with a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, glossy eyes, swayed balance, slurred speech, and the defendant was slow to answer questions at times. The defendant admitted to drinking, and standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read, and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.106 and 0.106.
Mr. Washington, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. How old are you, sir? What do you do for a living?
Currently, I work at FedEx, but I'm in college.
You're currently enrolled in college? Great. Where do you go?
PV. Sorry.
Okay. What are you studying?
Architecture, civil engineering.
Fantastic. Great. It's a big hiccup, man. This can really affect you. You know, anytime you want to get licensed to be an architect, you got to be licensed. All this. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. You're not allowed to smoke any marijuana. I'm going to test you. If I find that you continue to use, I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand? I'm not asking much. I'm just asking to stay clean. That's it. Do you have a Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
Do you have liability insurance in your name?
Sir. But I don't have a vehicle.
Do you see if he has a license? Any prior DWIs as well?
There are no priors, Your Honor. I'll run his license right now.
You don't have insurance in your name, then you're not allowed to drive any vehicle. You have to have insurance for, I don't care what car you're driving, unless you have insurance on whatever car you're driving, then you may not drive. And don't come up here and tell me, well, the car has insurance. No, people get insured. Do you understand?
Your Honor, he's eligible.
Okay. Did you want to apply for an unappointed lawyer? You're going to go hire a lawyer? Okay. If you have any issues, if you want me to appoint your lawyer, just come back, tell me, and I'm happy to do it. You know, I mean, money that you have, I'd rather you spend it on school. Are you sure? You don't want an appointed lawyer?
I'll make a phone call to you. Yes.
Okay. Got to understand that if you're going to hire a lawyer, there's a lot of timing requirements with the DWI. Don't sit and wait a month, 2 months, 3 weeks, because you're hurting yourself. You got to do it like lickety split. Do you understand? Okay. Like I said, you ever have any issues, come back, talk to us, and we can appoint your lawyer. Okay. For sure. So I'll have you sign a receipt, Victoria. We'll have you get with Felicia for your bond conditions. If you have a change of heart, just come back.
Yes,
you know? Okay. Danielle Free. Miss Free, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am. Okay.
On November 6th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle after observing it speeding 55 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone in the 7800 block of Spencer Highway. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer detected an odor of an alcoholic beverage on the defendant's breath, and standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 3 out of 8, and one leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant admitted to drinking and to taking prescription muscle relaxers on occasion. The officer located a case of twisted teas in the defendant's motor vehicle with 2 open cans of twisted teas, 1 in each cup holder. And
So consuming while driving?
There were 2 open cans in the cup holders, yes, Your Honor. and EICs were read and the defendant consented to blood.
Ms. Free, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm now ordering you not to drive. Do you understand? You are not allowed to drive any vehicle whatsoever for any reason. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. If I find that you do, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand? I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You will be randomly tested if you consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. Likewise, you will go to jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? Any prior DWIs, Alex?
No, Your Honor.
Any prior criminal history at all?
She has a prior racing on a highway that was dismissed earlier this year.
What do you do for a living, Ms. Free? Why?
I just graduated nursing school, so I was a CNA and caregiver in an independent care facility. But right now I help take care of my great grandma, so it's just a lot at once.
So how do you support yourself? How do you eat?
I live with my grandparents and I help them take care of her. She can't take care of herself. She has dementia and a mental disorder.
I'll fill out an application for you. I need to know everything about you, how much money you make, what kind of car you drive, any source of income that you have, money in the bank, stocks, bonds, IRAs. I'll have you fill out an application, but I need to know everything about you. Don't just put zeros because I'm going to send it right back to you.
Yes.
Do you understand? And I'll see whether you qualify. Above all else, do not drive. Do you understand? There's no justification that you can give for getting in a car. Likewise, don't consume alcohol or drugs. If you have a problem, you better address it, because if you don't, I'm going to do it for you. Promise you're not going to like the way that I do it. You understand? Okay. Do you mind giving me an application, please? Morning, Mr. Singleton.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing great. You know, it's Thursday, Friday Eve. Ready for the weekend, you know?
Yes, sir.
So
See, you have the decorations.
thanks. Well, it's all them.
Yes, sir.
Your lawyer has asked for me, or is asking for a bond reduction in your case, but you know, my concern, and I guess my very, very primary concern, is public safety. You've got a lot of serious charges, and from what I see, your bond is now at around 200,000. You've got 2 open aggravated assault cases, and you got an assault of a family member with us. Our bond is set at 5,002. What did you guys want?
Possibly looking for a PR bond due to the fact that his other 2 cases are extremely high. We believe that he should be able to bond out on that. We have been talks. He has been in talks with some family members regarding possibly coming up with money for the other 2 bonds, but reducing it here would possibly help him out regarding the overall amount that he will have to come up with.
Well, so my concern is, it looks like in September, he had an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon dismissed, right?
I believe that case got filed twice, and they.
So what's going on with the cases upstairs? And is it the same complaining witness as our case?
There's two complaining witnesses on those cases, Judge, and it looks as though it's a different complainant with us.
Is there a weapon involved? Is it a shooting?
On the aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, Judge, so in the felony cases, there's 2 weapons involved, a machete and a gun, a 9mm handgun.
Does he shoot at them? Does he shoot
At them. So the state would be opposed to lowering bond, Judge, given the severity and the propensity to violence that felony cases also show.
Oh, I think I remember this case.
This is the turning point. A PR bond was already given, and then came guns, threats, and violence. From a judge's perspective, this is how second chances officially run out.
It's about a neighbor, and it's either about like a fence or it's about some bushes or some, right? So
the state's concern is community safety, Judge. So for those reasons, we would be opposed to lowering his bond.
Even if it's not going totally to a PR, if it's possible to do 2,500, that was great.
I don't know, you know, I mean, we gave you a PR bond in this case. I let you out, right? And then you go out, you allegedly have these now two aggravated assault cases where in one, you point a gun at someone.
Shoot them in the head.
And if I remember, it's something so trivial over. Don't talk about the cases though, because I don't want you to.
I wouldn't incriminate myself or anything, but I live by truth, sir. And these people stole stuff from me.
No.
But Mr. Singleton,
Not that.
but there's a certain way when someone takes something from you. There's a certain way that you got to act.
I'm the one
You
that
know?
called the police, Your Honor.
And that may be so, but there's still a certain way to act, right? And if you.
Washington?
Refresh my memory because I just don't remember it.
I can read.
Yeah, go for it. Just a brief synopsis.
On or about September 7th, 2024, complainant Sarver was in his truck when he was awoken by the defendant knocking on the window with a 9mm handgun. The defendant then pointed the gun at complainant Sarver and demanded that the complainant get out of the car. When complainant Sarver got out of the car, the defendant stated that he would shoot the complainant in the head. Complainant Sarver advised that prior to coming home from work and having his incident with the defendant, the complainant too was also involved in an altercation with the defendant earlier in the night. The second complainant stated that an altercation arose between him and the defendant, which resulted in the defendant punching the second complainant in the face, causing him pain. The second complainant punched the defendant back and the defendant ran to his house. Shortly after, the defendant returned with a machete in one hand and a stick in the other and was calling out for the second complainant to come out to the street. So it seems as though he pointed a gun at complainant one, and then in complainant two, he punched him, and then when the complainant punched him back, he came back with a machete and a stick.
Sorry, Mr. Singleton, just too dangerous for me, man. I can't give you a PR bond. I already gave you a PR bond. We let you out, and then you pick up these two serious cases. You know, if we give you a PR bond now, if we were to lower, I mean, what's going to happen? You're going to pick up a fourth case? We're trying to prevent that from happening, you know?
Order in the court. May I speak?
But not about the cases, okay? Just because I don't want you to hurt yourself, you know?
I understand, Your Honor, but I don't recall you ever giving me a PR bond, sir.
We gave you a PR bond on, in our case, we gave it to you on 8/12 of 24. I gave you a PR bond. We let you out of jail. You know, you had certain conditions that you're supposed to follow. No weapons, no contact with the complaining witnesses. And so here we are with two very serious cases. If you're able to bond out, and if you have someone, come back, talk, perhaps we can.
My fiance.
No, but
the person who this is.
You're your own worst enemy, Mr. Singleton. Really, I mean, you're
I'm
your
sorry.
own worst enemy.
I guess it's the military.
Well, don't blame it on the military. They're choices, right? And
yes,
sometimes choices are made such that.
I know I need help, Your Honor. I'm not saying I don't need help. However,
the problem is that you can't do that after the fact.
I understand.
You got to recognize it before the fact, before it balloons out of control. That's why, you know, and it's not our first rodeo here with you. You've had prior assaultive cases like this. So you have to understand that when you get these feelings, these urges that you're going to lose, you got to try to take care of this beforehand. Now, why don't we have him TRAS'd? Okay, let's see what it says. Let's see how to go forward. You know, if they say that there's treatment that's, you know, I have options available to help you with, and I'm willing to help you and I want to. Yeah, we will do it. But the first things first is I got to have you evaluated to see how we go forward. And if you let me do this. And if you're honest with me, Mr. Singleton, let's try to work something.
I will be.
All right. Can you set up a TRAS for Mr. Singleton? Yeah, please. I'm going to set you for an evaluation. I'm going to have you speak to clinicians. Be honest.
I will.
We'll come back in a couple days. Today's what, Thursday? Come back on Tuesday. Let's talk about how we go forward. Okay?
Yeah.
Look, this isn't the be all end all, but let's see how we go forward. You know, that's why God put eyes in the front. So we go forward. We don't go backwards. All
Yes,
right?
Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Stay. Okay? You know, Alan, you know, depending on what that TRAS says, it may also help with what upstairs to try to work out some kind of treatment program so that, you know, because it's all just anger, right? Yeah.
That's the first time I seen that actually. Like that, so it makes
It may be worth exploring because it'll help, you know, hopefully upstairs as well. Yeah, thanks. Yes. Mr. He?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Mr. He. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
On November 11th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop for a defective license plate lamp in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle, and observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, watery bloodshot eyes, and disorientation. Standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN 4 out of 6. Walk and turn and one leg stand were not administered due to the defendant becoming belligerent. Walk and turn, prior to termination, they had detected 1 of 8 clues. The defendant read the DIC and refused to provide a specimen. A blood search warrant was obtained and executed.
Any priority to be honest?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. He, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. We will randomly test you. If we find that you consume alcohol or drugs, you will go to jail. And that's it. Do you understand? Do you have a valid Texas driver license? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name? You may continue to drive as long as you have both, and Mr. Murphy will tell you if it does become suspended. If it becomes suspended, you may not drive. Now, because you have a lawyer, we will waive your appearance. You do not need to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Murphy, and he will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're gone and you're not responding, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
That won't be an issue, guys.
I don't think it will, but we have to put you on notice of what we expect and what, you know, what happens when you start acting up. So we will have you just sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you get with Felicia for your bond conditions, and then you guys are free to go. Okay?
Judge, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.